how does faith weave its way into your music, your pen, and your activist work?
Faith is another force. Like there's forces in this world that we attribute to things that we don't really understand because we have a low level of understanding or a limited level of understanding by design. The powers that be who you know control the religions and the academia, they're not giving us the true meaning of these powers. Faith is a force. It's not something to believe. I'm gonna say that again. Faith is a force. It's not something to believe, because belief has no ground.
The waivers.
Belief, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but is it fact? Is it real? Is it tangible? That's the difference between being a scientist and being a believer. A believer can believe that the sky is red and elephants are raining from the clouds. A believer can go all the way with that belief until the day they die. But what is really the facts? So faith is a force that I use. I have faith in my higher power. I have faith in myself. And then I have faith in my people. So that's why I do what I do. And I go against the odds every day. Everything I create is going against the odds. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the diamonds and all. I'm not doing all that. I want to attract who has that same faith. You understand? So everything ain't, I ain't for everybody. I ain't for everybody. I'm cool with that. That's not why I'm here. That's not why I incarnated. That's not why I incarnated in this time. I incarnated in this time to bring exactly what I'm bringing and to do exactly what I'm doing. And whoever vibes with me will continue to support my creativity. And who doesn't, I know that everything is not for everybody, like I said. So everybody's on a different level. Even viewers listening to this conversation, some of the things we speaking about may go over their heads. But years later, that's how it happens. Years later, you get that aha moment and you go back. Let me go back to that podcast. Let me go back to that show and hear that over again, because that sparked something that I'm just now realizing. And faith has something to do with all of that, man. Faith, if you don't have no faith, you can't even get there. Faith is a force.
It's definitely a force. You know, they say dropping seeds, and that seed is either going to grow or it's not going to grow. And it's faith that pushes that seed to grow into like what it's supposed to be. And there's scripture, you know, when you get into the Christian, or however you want to put it, the Christ frequency, that you know, he says that a mustard seed can move a mountain. So that was the hint right there.
That was the hint.
You know, you know, you can't sit up there and believe and try to manifest the mountain. You have to go, you know, go do it, go see it, you know, take the seeds that have been dropped into you and move it.
And move it. Movement.
Movement, man.
People don't understand.
Yeah.
They got us complacent. They got us praying and waiting for God to, and Allah's like, I gave you the power of choice. I gave you the power of creation. I gave you the power of movement. You know what I'm saying? And we talk about Christianity, right? I'm part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. It's only my duty to mention the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm a missionary, speaker, and teacher from the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is my feds right here. You know what I'm saying? Marcus Garvey, one of our forerunners, Noble Jew Ali, the Honorable Noble Jew Ali. If we didn't have real quick, Noble Jew Ali, he don't get no props. But if it wasn't for Noble Jew Ali, we wouldn't have Master Fard Muhammad. We wouldn't have Elijah Muhammad. We wouldn't have had Malcolm X. We wouldn't have had Jeff Fort. Let's talk about Jeff Fort in Chicago. A lot of people, he's doing life in prison right now, and they always pumping. He was a gangster. Nah, he was a revolutionary leader at that time. You understand? All of these brothers have some connection to the Moorish Science Temple of America and being a Moor. Elijah Poole Bey, like my name is Demetrius Bey. Elijah Muhammad, original name is Elijah Poole Bey because he was part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Jeff Fort, the chief, was part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The fort that they had in Chicago was for the Moors, the Fezzes. So I bring that up to say that Moorish science is something that Noble Drew Ali brought from the East to the West, 1920, at a time when we was coming out of slavery. We couldn't read and write. There was a lot of things happening. And this man is bringing Islamism, the culture. A lot of people understand you have Islam, the religion, but then you have Islam, the culture. Religions come from cultures. Cultures birth religions and not the other way around. Right. You understand? So Islam was a culture before it became a secular religion. You understand? So Islamism is that culture. And Moorish science deals with Islamism. Moorish science, we study Yahshua, not Jesus, because Jesus is a character that's blonde-haired, blue-eyed. Subconsciously, when you hear Jesus, you see a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man. But when you hear Yahshua, that's his true and real identification name, and you're going to deal with his true appearance. Hair of wool, skin of bronze, copper colored. You understand? So when we deal with Yahshua, we deal with Confucius, another man who brought the science of the chi. Yeah. Confucius was a Moor. He was a Asian, slanted eyes, everything Asian, but his skin had melanin. Yeah. He was a Moor. Muhammad, we follow Muhammad and the teachings of Muhammad, the Prophet Muhammad. And we follow Buddha. That's 4 directions: east, west, north, south. Just like you have the 5 fingers of death. Mm-hmm. To master martial arts, you have to learn the 5 techniques. It's the same type of science. The 4 sciences that we deal with is Buddha, and Buddha teaches us detachment, the science of the breath, and the science of not connecting yourselves to the things of the world. Separating yourself from the things of the world that drag you down. Buddha brought a science, Muhammad brought a science. So no one prophet has it all. So what are we really fighting about? What is really all the religions fighting about? Because if you study all 4 of these prophets, they all intertwine. They all intertwine. You know what I'm saying? They speak about Yahshua going on a pilgrimage to Tibet and learning and sitting down with the masters in Tibet. Then Yahshua going to India and sitting down with the Moors in India and getting that science. And he probably had a pilgrimage other places as well where they had masters. So he was born and then he's 30. What happened in between those times? That was his pilgrimage. That's when he was learning from all sciences and cultures from around the world. And that's how he became a master of all sciences and cultures around the world. You can become a master of all sciences and cultures around the world. You can do everything Yahshua did, everything Buddha did, everything Confucius did, everything Muhammad did. Me and you can do. If we put forth the effort to master ourselves and the sciences of the masters before us. So that's what the science of the Fez, like the science of the Fez is the woman. The woman. We wear the woman on our head, because we know the melanin woman is the one who brings about the future, which is the children and the sustenance that brings the children life, whether it's intellect, emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence. We honor our women in Moorish science, unlike black culture and nigger culture, who degrades their women because they're taught to degrade their women. But your woman is the key to our salvation. Our women are the keys to our salvation and redemption.